It sounds like South Africa, bro. That's really mad. All right, so we've got our friend Poopy at Doodles, and he comes out with this tweet, our friend Poopy, and he says over here, "Hey Web3, here are my comments on the feedback." All right, that was the first one. We are trying to go from a startup to a leading media franchise. We are no longer an NFT project. That was the other one. I want to find his first one, okay? His very, very first one. Unless he's deleted it. Do you think he's deleted it already? Because it used to be there.
Probably. Probably.
I'm definitely gonna find it. There's no way. There's no way I'm not finding it.
Someone
I
has
don't think it's
screenshot.
very web. Yeah, for sure. I don't think it's very Web3 to delete it if he did. I mean, but I guess he's not very Web3 with what
I
he
mean,
was
no,
saying,
dude.
right?
Volterra deleted his tweet. Volterra deleted his tweet after he got so much FUD from putting that out.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. So yeah, he has deleted it, hey? He has
Mm-hmm.
taken it down here, which is incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah,
So we
man.
have the original one where he came out. I did have it here though. Give me a sec. Let's try find it. Because these were screenshots anyway. If I can't find it, I'll give you the gist of it. But it's better if I can quote it exactly. Yeah, no, it's not here. Nope. Basically, he came out and he says, let me make something very, very clear. Doodles is not an NFT project. If you're just here to make profit, then rather get out. We are not interested in speculators. We are building a media brand. So basically, we are higher than an NFT project. And yeah, we're here for collectors. We're not interested in anyone who's here as a speculator. He got a lot of backlash, so much so that he's wiped it clean, and it's no longer saying that anymore. But it just shows, I mean, like it just shows how out of touch they are. We've noticed with Doodles for the last year, they've refused to do any social media type of thing. I've always, it just made, the one saying I kept thinking of myself when I was reading it was, why bite the hand that feeds you? You know that saying, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Here they started their company as an NFT project. They are where they are and raised the money that they were able to raise because they got the support of the NFT community. And to come out a year later just because you think you're better than us and say that don't want to be associated with the word NFT anymore, we're not an NFT project, we're more than that, is biting the hand that feeds you. Fuck you, I'll sell my NFT. And he doesn't care. He said sell it. He's not interested. So yeah, I think he needs to, and I was busy doing it when we started. I think he needs to build a POOPLICATOR instead of a duplicator that stops him from tweeting and makes him think before he tweets because it's really, really one of the worst PR moves I've ever seen.
I'm actually not that mad about this at all, to be honest. I saw who was it? I can't remember his name. The guy in charge of Root Troop, Morgan Stone. He put out a tweet and he was like, controversial opinion, basically. Like, I'm not mad about this. Like, yeah, it wasn't like the most tasteful thing, but people need to like. It's fine. Like, it's one of those things that, for me, the only issue was that Poopy or Jordan Castro, for people who don't know his real name, Jordan. The only issue with it for me, because I wasn't really like, I just don't take anything personal like that. I would have just been like, well, whatever. Like, either just having a bad day or he didn't mean it like this. Like, he just, like, in the same way that when he said we're not an NFT project, he didn't mean that maliciously for people to be like, what do you fucking mean we're not an NFT project? I'm like, bro, hold on. Like, relax. If this works out, you're gonna be happy. Like, that's the point that they're making here. Like, they're not an NFT project trying to like separate themselves from like a PFP style thing and do some real business moves and media stuff. That's the direction they're going, and that's the direction they've always headed. Nothing has changed, by the way. Like, they were already doing this. There's now just a public statement out there. You can see it visually where it's like, Doodles isn't an NFT project. They were never operating like an NFT project, like anything else in the space. And with Jordan, he came from the CryptoKitties Dapper Labs community. If you guys have seen the podcast with him, I had him on the show a couple years ago, and we talked about it. They have a very, very, very different outlook. I interviewed like everyone at Dapper Labs at this point, like Arthur, fucking Mac Flavell, a couple of the people from Dapper Labs, they don't look at NFTs like we do. They look at it like a collector's item, like in the way that CryptoKitties had a few years ago. And that's always been how it is. It's always been communicated like that since the beginning. It's just been a 2-year cycle of them not being great at communicating. And the problem is when you don't communicate well, and then you make a statement like, get the fuck out and floor it, that's where it looks bad. If Frank had done that, he would have been like, oh, no problem. And people would have said, that's fine. We already understand you. We know you as a person. It's okay. We probably had a lapse in judgment. We forgive you. But when Jordan Castro does it, because he's not that active, it has a lot more weight on it. Same with Voltura. He comes out, makes a tweet saying, hey, potentially want to give
Hold
the
on, we're going to talk about Voltura. We're going to talk about Voltura separate. I hear you, and I agree with you. I think in the end of the day, he didn't mean it to come across the way he did, but that is my point. When you are the CEO or running one of the biggest NFT projects in the space, you should be very careful with what you put out there in the public domain. And before you tweet, you should try and maybe have an advisor or someone that looks at it and says, look, this could be perceived as quite harsh. You know, in the end of the day, why offend people? Which is obviously what happened afterwards, because he's completely deleted it and put this whole thing clarifying what he meant by what he said, and going on and on, all of which could have been avoided if he just took a second before clicking that tweet button and actually thought about what he was saying. Now, do you want someone who's saying that they're going to be building the biggest media company in the world with Pharrell Williams, that's so trigger happy that he can send out tweets at a whim? Someone said, well, I'm going to sell my NFT. He said, oh, please fuck off and floor it. I don't care. Get out of here. That's not the type of person that is going to build a media empire. I can tell you that. That's not the face of the company. That's not who you want representing you, right? Because you want someone that encourages people and makes people want to support you, not someone that makes people want to drop kick you over a fence. And at the moment, he just keeps on posting this crap that is isolating himself and showing that he's completely out of touch with his core, which is the NFT supporters. He doesn't he's out of touch with who pays his salary.
I don't know, man. I think it's because I've changed my opinion sort of how NFTs are run, and I just don't. Especially when you look, we're talking about a VC project. We're not talking about a PFP project.
They weren't. No, they were a PFP project before they were a VC. Kate, what happens if you spent 20? Yeah, but what happens if you bought it at 20 ETH before they were VC backed? When all the hype was going on. What happens if you had spent $400,000 and you now have the owner saying, if you here to, and it's now worth $10,000, and you have the owner of the company saying to you, if you here to make money or fuck off, it was never about that. Meantime, when the floor price was 20 ETH, when ETH was $3,500, it was only about that. So now what? Is he bigger than the space? Now that the times have gotten a bit tough and people are upset because the floor price is low, all of a sudden he's saying, oh, screw you, we're not an NFT project? Rubbish, you are. You started as that. Yes, you have aspirations to be more than that, but word it correctly. Don't kick the guy who spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in the nuts and tell him to go jump in the lake and floor his NFT.
Here's what I'll say. I think there definitely was a way more tasteful way to do this. Of course, there was a more tasteful way to do this, especially because he's not active. You can't just come out and say that one thing. However, when you're VC backed, now you have venture capitalists saying, hey, don't do this because we gave you money. Your job is to make us more money. That's literally your only job, is to make more money and to give us like a good reason to keep investing in you, kind of thing, right? And with this project, I do not agree that they were pumping the project at 20 ETH. They said the same message from 1 ETH to 20 ETH. It was always the same message. It was never, now we're at 20 ETH, so this, and this. It was always the same standard message. It was like, yo, we're still here doing the same shit. Like, if you're buying at 20 ETH, like, great. Like, it's up to you. I don't know who the fuck is buying it. Like, I don't know. If you're buying it at 20 ETH and your mags, you bought it at 20 ETH, that's 100% your fault. 100% the trader's fault, in my opinion.
Bro, 100% not. So much so that when their floor was 20 ETH, it used to be 30 ETH. They were buying it up themselves, saying these are going to 40. They were in it. They were in the bull market with all of us in the trenches, speculating.
You have to bring up the tweets where the founders are saying that, because I just don't remember that. I don't remember seeing that. The only thing I remember is them saying the same message over and over again, which is we're here to build. We're an NFT media company. We're trying to make these NFTs all over and bring the blockchain and the NFTs to the masses, which is what they're still doing with the Doodles too. There's still nothing has changed. Like, nothing has changed about it, and that's why I just don't believe that. You know, and now they're VC back. So now they have extra reason to like make money and not just like give back stuff to their holders for free. That's just not sustainable. And I don't remember them ever changing from that. I never thought that anything changed. That was always the same message from what I gathered from it. Maybe I wasn't tapped in enough, but that's just my opinion on it. So
No, I was pretty tapped in. They didn't expressly that I know of say buy this at 20 if we're going to make it worth 40. I don't think anyone's ever done it.
in that case,
But
I don't know
they played that narrative of the next Yuga. They played that narrative of the first thick line art PFP in the space that's relatable. They played all of that before there was anything about a media company. Before there was any, they were happy to, and rightfully so. Why the hell not? Ride the wave. But then when the wave disappears, don't chuck everyone who was on the wave out the window and say we're not even the sea. We're on Mars. We're not even the sea. Screw you all and abandon ship. Just because come on, we are Web3. We are in the NFT space. Your project is an NFT. It's on the freaking blockchain. Just be nice to the NFT people. Something that I saw here, which is interesting and related to this, is just an op-ed, which means like an open writing piece by a guy by the name of Duncan Cook Foster. Absolutely no sponsorship, anything. Just a really interesting read on NFT now. Saying that, basically that if we only here to speculate and turn $1 into $2, there is no future for the NFT space, which falls directly into this because in a way, I think this is what Poopy was trying to say. Is and this is a brilliant article saying that, but in the correct way. And it is true because if you've got less people in the space, which we have now, a lot less people in the space, it no longer works if everyone is not interested in the roadmap, not interested in the team, not interested in anything that the project has to offer, just interested in turning $1 into $2. That doesn't work anymore because it's just not enough people to buy at $2 and then to buy at $4 and then to buy at $8. And so this has to become, like we have been saying for quite a while, less about, oh, we're an NFT project, buy us, and more about, look, we've got a brilliant idea, we're a company, and oh, by the way, membership to our club, our company, happens to be through an NFT, right? And that's what it has to become more of, is what this thing is saying. I found it very interesting. It was not related to the doodle thing, but I wanted to just bring it in because it really does relate to it so beautifully.
I was gonna say, isn't it exactly what I was saying though about Doodles? Saying that exact same thing. We gotta evolve apps. But also one thing that Doodles that Poopy put out. Have you seen Poopy's tweet about how he sort of elaborated on what he meant when he said we're not an NFT project? He was like, guys, we built on the Flow blockchain. Like, we have never not tried to push blockchain to the masses. He goes, that is always the thing. So when he said we're not an NFT project, he's saying we're a big media company with a Web3 initiative is what I actually got from that. Because I've been in the business world of NFTs for the last year and a half. That's what they mean. It's just like I said, like you said, we both said this. It's just the way they handled it and the way they spoke about it and like said these words a certain way that when you don't have other communication that's going to give personal branding, the due respect or whatever that you get from being super active like Frank, you have to take the L. And he said at the very beginning, at the very bottom, he says, I'll take the L. It wasn't the right way to say it, but he's not changing what he meant by it. The thing he meant by it is that last paragraph right there, right?
Yeah,
right,
we're saying
right
the same
above.
thing. 100%. I'm saying I just think he should have thought before he tweeted out the way he did, because it came across as if we are superior to you. You NFT degens are not related to us. We are going higher places than you. So please get out of our way because we're now a media company. We're not an NFT company. So we understand what he was saying. It's exactly what you and I were saying a week ago or 2 weeks ago, where they are going for the stars long term, nothing to do with Web3 or Web2. They want to build the biggest brand, whatever that may be, and that we admire. Both you and I said long term we actually bullish on Doodles, and for me, I maintain that, and I feel the same as I did then. However, if this guy continues not thinking and not wording his tweets properly and pissing off his entire community every second day, then he's not going to go anywhere, and there is going to be an issue. So it's just not ideal. You don't want to see someone just willy-nilly sending out whatever they think without thinking beforehand.
I agree. Jordan, bro, I'm pinging you every day, bro. I'm following what's his name, Hulk Hustle. I'm doing the bump every couple days. I'm messaging you. I'm like, yo, come on the show. Like, let's have a real discussion about this. Like, he can do it on his own, I know. But I was like, bro, let's come on like one of the
No, he
shows.
doesn't
Like,
care.
there's like 15
He's
shows.
why is he going to come on, okay? He doesn't care about appeasing the NFT community. He's too big for us, bro. He's not coming on the show.
I don't believe
But
that.
keep trying. Keep
I
trying.
don't believe that. I think
Talking
he
about
just
the
was
show.
misunderstood.
Talking about the show. Talking about people coming on your show. Let's talk about this now, and we need to talk about this. Let's give the viewers a bit of background, and then we need to talk about this. Vultura from Psychedelics Anonymous came on your show, and I said to you, I do not